Hey guys, no motorcycle video this week. Sorry about that. You've missed a couple of fill-ups on the Royal Enfield. I don't think really that merits a video of its own, and I don't want to try to include it on everything. So needless to say, the last two fill-ups on that bike have been around the 50 mile per gallon mark, which is good. It's not the 70 that I was told, and I never expected it to be 70. I figured it'd be in the high 50s, low 60s. It's in the 50 mark. It's a little low sometimes, it's a little high sometimes. That's fine. But it's doing good. The bike's running great. It's running in real well. I'm getting ready to hit 1,000 miles. Very cool. A little bit of news quickly, briefly. The Harley, Grandpa's Harley, the engine seized on it. Kevin got it apart at Adventure Center and found the cam bearing head failed. And apparently when Grandpa had that Screaming Eagle engine put on it in 2004, they had not come out with the updated bearings for that motor yet. So it had the original bearings. They're notorious for failing, even with the bike as stock. And with that upgraded motor with the Stage 2 racing tune that it's got, it's 30,000 miles and it hit it. So it threw one of the rollers, cracked the case. We're gonna find out how much it's gonna cost to fix that. I don't know exactly where we're at on that, but we're gonna find out. So anyway, so that's it for the motorcycles. No motorcycles this week. I've been sick. I've been going to work anyway, and that kind of was a mistake yesterday, but I neglected something on a job that I shouldn't have because I just was out of it. But one of the other techs ended up covering for me today, and he wasn't too happy about that. And he was very rude about it on the phone, but that's just how that guy is. Doesn't really matter. He covered for what was going on there. I would have done the same for him if I were on call. That's what's expected. Anyway, no motorcycles because just not feeling up to it. Tomorrow, I feel better today. Tomorrow I might feel even better, but I'm not going to try to go ride bikes and ruin that. I need to be back on my feet at work Monday morning without, my head firmly planted in the wrong places. So no motorcycles this week. This week we have a gun video. I have no idea how heavy the editing is going to be on this, but let's see where we go. What we have is a Glock 19. If you remember the Vertec and 92FS video, you know that Gabe had my old 92FS. It was built in the early 2000s. I think it was a 2003 or 2004 build. Ben recently traded the SIG for a 92FS. It was built in the 90s, and it's got the flat under rail, or not under rail, it's got the flat dust cover like an M9, which I think is really cool. I think it looks a lot better than the early 2000s 92FS. And then I had the Vertec, and I really thought that Vertec was going to be the trick. Every time I picked one of those up, it just felt great. The first couple times I shot it, it shot pretty good. I knew there was some wear in. I was going to have to break myself into the new gun. Didn't work out that way. I was not breaking into it. It was getting worse for me. And on a good day, I was doing okay. On a bad day, I was not doing well at all. And what sealed the deal for me was the three of us took our 3 Berettas out, and I picked up, after not doing really well that day, I picked up one of the boys' Berettas. I think it was Ben's, and 10 for 10. I went all 10. I nailed every target I aimed at, including the 100-yard target, and that might have been a fluke, but it happened. So it was like, and the boys standing there looking at me like, okay, and I'm like, all right, well, you know what, that's it. I'm done trying to adapt to this Vertec. I really thought that was going to be the trick. Turns out it wasn't. I was mistaken. I've been wrong before. So what I did, I brought the Vertec into Bakersfield Ammo and Gun. I was going to sell it. Pete was going to sell it for me. Mark was like, because I got that gun from Pete. He had got it from Mark. Mark had got it from someone else. Mark was like, I want that gun back. I was like, okay, I'll trade it. He says, I'll trade you a 1911 for it. I'll trade you a Rock Island. I was like, yeah, you would. What we ended up doing was trading a Rock Island for Gabe. He got a new 1911, and if I can convince him to do a video, we'll do a video with the 1911. He's really digging that gun, and he's getting better with it pretty quickly too. I'm really happy about that. I would rather he stuck with the 9mm, but he traded me. Basically, in the trade, I traded the 92 Vertec. I got the Rock Island, and I got this gun, and it's about a fair trade. It's pretty close for what he's paying for those, and I think I threw $100 in, so that was good. $900 pistol, or $800 pistol with $900 with $100 add-on, $900 worth of gun and cash for a $500 Glock and a $400 1911. I thought that was a decent trade. We both came out okay on that. We didn't do great, either one of us. We didn't do poorly, and that's how I like trades to go with buddies. So Mark's a buddy, Pete's a buddy. That's how I like that to go. Anyway, the Glock 19. Every time I've got a full-size Glock, I've had that Glock 26 forever. Matter of fact, through the magic of editing, I'm going to come back with the 26. So there you go. There's the 26, just real quick. The Rock Island 1911 that Gabe got. Pretty cool gun. Its magazine is out. Gun's empty. Anyway, Gabe's really been doing well with this. He's enjoying it. I'm really glad he's enjoying it. He's already talking about upgrades for the beaver tail, or whatever they call that, dovetail. And he doesn't want to do the hammer. I don't know why I would. But the trigger too. And I'm going to try to work it so that Gabe does the upgrades himself. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, set that off to the side. So this is my 26. Before we go any further, I'm going to, oops. We're all hot. As James Yeager would say, danger that up. So we'll set the magazines off to the side, get the ammo out of the room, because we are going to work on this gun. Empty chamber. And the way you know a Glock is empty, one way or the other, is when the trigger's back. So long time ago, in a valley far, far away, Piru Valley, I went to an IDPA match. I shot the Beretta 92 FS that Gabe had, and I have back again because he basically traded me that 1911 for it. The boys are going to inherit all those guns anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Anyway, we won't say that too loud. Anyway, Vince took me to an IDPA match, and I shot my 92 FS, and Vince shot his Glock 26. Now, this wasn't his Glock 26. I'm not going to go into what ended up happening with his Glock 26. It's a sad story, and I don't want to tell it. But Vince had me after the match. I did really good in that match. I did decent overall. There were a few stages I really shone in, and everybody there was like, what the heck? But we went up the hill a little bit, and we shot on a steel range, and Vince had me shoot his 26, and I loved it. It fits my hand. It rides right there in the palm like it's supposed to. It's just a great gun. I came back down after that match. We had lunch. We talked for a while. Really liked hanging out with that guy. Miss him. He's not with us anymore, which is sad. But anyway, he convinced me that this was the way to go. And you're talking to a lifelong Glock hater. I hate Glocks. I can't stand them. I don't like the ergonomics of the guns. I don't like the triggers. I don't like the lack of a manual safety. Remember, I used to be a 1911 guy. You know, That was, anyway. Kind of did not like the Glocks, so, but he convinced me that gun was really good, and I was hitting everything I wanted with it, and I did really good with it. This is adorned with periwinkle because we were shooting the backup gun matches, and I made sure that my magazines, oh, this one's not, but the ones that could do it, yeah, right there. I made sure my magazines had periwinkle, because who else at the match is going to have periwinkle magazines? Anyway, shot the match, had lunch with Vince. We talked for a while, had a good time. It was a great day. It was a great day. It was a memorable day. And then I came back down into town, and I didn't even go home. I went straight to Valley Gun, where they had this. And this was about half wore out. And if you know anything about Glocks, you know it takes a lot to wear a Glock out. I went through and put all new trigger components in it. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. James was working there at the time. The guy to go to at Valley Gun now is Cameron. Cameron's great. James was really good too, and I kind of miss James in that capacity, although Cameron's a really awesome guy when it comes to talking to him about these guns and getting direction on them. But James let me look at it. James showed it to me. James showed me, he said, they're really easy to disassemble. I said, well, really? And he goes, yeah. Well, he broke it down, which pull the trigger, you cock the slide a little bit back, and the slide comes off, and that is field stripped. That's field stripped, right? That is not disassembled. Disassembly is punching these pins out, taking the trigger mechanism out, and getting everything apart. And I'm not going to do that right now because this is already 13 minutes, way too long. So that's disassembly. He did it with a ballpoint pen, one of the little green and white Valley Gun pens that they've had forever, ballpoint pen. And he punched it, and he pulled it all out, and he pulled this gun completely apart. And I said, wow. He said, yeah, a monkey could fix these, right? I said, do it again. So he did it again. He put it back together, showed me how it went, and then he did it again. And I watched him, and then I said, all right, I want to do it now. And he did it. Not to a Glock 26. Oops. To this Glock 26. This one. And I watched him do it, and I was like, okay, I want to do it. So he put it back together. I disassembled it completely. Boom, with the ballpoint pen, did the same thing, took it all apart. And I put it all back together. Function tested it, it was fine. I'll take it, I want it. So this was my constant companion after the 92 FS. First was the Kimber 1911. I'll do a separate video on that gun. Then was the 92 FS, and then it was this gun. And this gun did not come with this clip. I put that on there. I put that clip on there. I also put True Glow radioactive sights on there. You'll notice the back one's missing. I do not recommend True Glow products, any of them. I highly recommend you stay away from True Glow. Anything and everything True Glow. It's all garbage. It's all junk. It's dollar store crap. Stay away from it. End of rant. But I did put this clip on there. I have no idea who made it. It says, warning, not for use with gun in the ready to fire condition. I carried this gun for a long time with this clip. I carried it Israeli. No round in the chamber, a full magazine. Upon drawing, you draw the gun and ready to fire. Okay? That you just train yourself to do it. Do you lose a second or so? Yeah. If your hand is whatever, you pull the gun, you hook the rear sight on your belt, and at the time it was a metal sight, just like this one. Just like this one. Sorry about that. It was a metal sight. You hook it on the belt, and you do that again, right? And if, in case you think that, that didn't happen, all right? That's how that works. So you just pull it out of the pants, you hook it on the belt, jacket and you bring it up and go to work. So, oh, what if your hand's down? Oh, what if you're crippled? What if they shoot you first? Well, then you're screwed. You're screwed. Having a gun is going to help you. Matter of fact, you just armed the bad guy, so don't let that crap happen. Quit talking to me. Anyway, the four modifications this gun got was night sights, the clip draw, this, the slide release lever is the extended type, and when you're like this, see where that's at, right? Versus the Glock original. Now, I don't like the Glock original, and I don't like the little triangle extension that they make. I don't care for it. What I do like is a lot more expensive, and it's made by Aerotech Industries. So, 555, sorry. I put the plug in. For aesthetics more than anything. Are you keeping junk out of the gun? No, not really. Does the gun need junk kept out of it? No, not really. Do I want an open hole there anyway? No, not really. Is that helping feed the magazine? That's probably marginal. I'm sure it is to some degree. You're talking about rolling the mag in on the back of that thing. Whatever. I don't think that's important. This one has a sharp edge, so no, you're not. You're gonna index with the finger. You're gonna bring that in, right, and do it. So anyway, rounds out of the gun. You see how easy that is to manipulate that with that thumb knuckle, right? So this gun, good old Pete down at Bakersfield Ammo, Gun and Ammo, BAGS. Bakersfield Ammo and Gun Supply. Pete did the sights for me. As a running joke, he did them off a little bit on purpose, but they're on enough that it really didn't matter. They are the Glock factory night sights. What else I did? I ordered on Amazon the plug. I did, and again, it's an aesthetic thing. That's it. Also, they put a basically a 3.5 pound trigger. So the trigger pull on this gun, sorry about that. They put the 3.5 pound trigger. So the trigger pull on this gun is very, very close to the trigger pull on this gun. They're light and they're the same kind of spongy, and that's good. So I may or may not do the clip draw on this gun. If I do, I will train with this gun the same way that I did with the 26, and I will carry it Israeli. And if you don't like that, leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. It's the way I carry it. It's the way I've trained. I've trained myself to rack these guns on the heel of my boot, on my belt, on my pocket, on a desk, on a table. I've trained and I was kind of hard on that sight. Now that I'm thinking about that, I'm saying that. But it still shouldn't have failed, okay? And they should have covered it even if it did, because nothing I was doing to it, to the front end, was as harsh as the recoil of the gun. But anyway, True Glow is still garbage. Don't buy True Glow, garbage. So that's again, close the rant out, dude. So anyway, today I have the 19 for the first time ever. Every time I've gotten a Glock, besides that particular 26, every time I've gotten a Glock, it was a 17, and it's because I ran into a deal on it. But I've always wanted a 19. So today I have what do you know? The same disconnect, Aerotech Industries, or Aerotech Limited in Tumwater, Washington. They are still in business, and I'm really glad to see that. This is a great product. It is very expensive. Do I recommend it? Yes, I think it's worth the money. And I'm sorry I did that. Be careful with your knives, dude. I do recommend this product. I have not used any of their other products. No, that's not true. Give me just a second here. That's not true. I have used their titanium guide rods and spring sets. We have used those. That's not what, well, that is what this is. Let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. We might just change that out too. Why not? I've got a box full of Glock parts. Vince sent them to me a long time ago. And that is exactly what this, no, this is the plastic one. Let's find out. Click, click, click. You cock these back just a little bit. And there you go. I believe this is the titanium guide rod. Yeah, this is the titanium guide rod. This should have no flex to it. Let's check that real quick. This one should, because it's polymer, and it does. So, I have not personally used these. Vince used one in his Glock 19. He had extras. He sent them to me. Glock 1923. He sent them to me whenever I got the Glock 26. He sent me a whole bunch of extra parts. I've got a box full of extra parts that he sent me and that I have accumulated over the years myself. So, delicioso. So, we'll try that too, because that's got to be better. It's more rigid. The product that I do have a lot of experience with from Aerotech Industries, or Aerotech Limited, is this slide release. And the little triangular Glock extended stops back here like that. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't give enough purchase when you're fiddling with the gun. I like this one. And they're like 40, 50 bucks. I got that off of their website. They don't carry those on Amazon. But again, that's what I've had on this gun forever. It was well worth the money. This was a Vince suggestion. Vince was really big about buying the expensive thing if it worked that much better. And he did, and I did too, even though at the time, back then in the day, I couldn't afford it. I did it anyway, because he was really that big on them, and he sent me a whole bunch of stuff, but guy was full of great advice on that stuff. Anyway, let's see if we can put that in today. You can see where that is starting to get goobery. It's getting a little dirty. I've shot it a bit. So this part is what we're taking out. And if I remember right, I'm not doing this for your benefit. I'm doing it for mine. My eyes are getting to the point where they don't, yeah. So there's 3 pins. This is a 3-pin Glock. The original Glocks were, turn this off real quick. The original Glocks were 2 pins. They had a pin here and a pin here. To make them stronger, they added a pin. So these are 3-pin. This is a Generation 3 frame. What we're going to do is leave the small pin. We're going to knock this one out, and it's going to let go of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because you can see the top pin there is just to kind of hold this locking block in place. It's kind of like the metal pin in the Mosin Nagants. You look on the stock of the Mosin Nagant, there's a metal pin. It holds the action in place in the stock. And that's kind of what this metal pin is doing. It makes the gun stronger. We're going to remove this pin. We're going to pull this out. Let's just go ahead and do that. Uh-oh. It might not want to. Pretty tight. That's going to poke a hole in my hand. I'll get a hammer. I'll be right back. Whoop. All right. Ooh, look at that. I'll have to get an actual hammer. I should just drive out. Well, it is a brand new gun. Ow, my thumb. Well, apparently I slipped there. There we go. Yeah, what I did was I slipped and I dinged the frame. Good grief, what a retard. All right, so we're gonna pull that out. We're gonna keep it pointed in the right direction, and this should just lift out like that. Before we go too nuts, I'm gonna look at this. Make sure it is the same dimensions. Spring's a little bit higher up there. That's fine because we're going to stuff it in a hole. And at the same places, more or less. At the same places, more or less, you get the same riding surfaces. That looks a little different to me. So, oh no, it's just at a different angle. So we should be able to just slide this in. Oh, come on. I gotta take these off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to screw the lighting up here. In that slot right there. There we go. We're just gonna stuff that down in there. Woo. And sorry about that. Line the holes up. My eyes are getting to a point where I'm gonna have to have bifocals, and I've got to do that kind of stuff just to see what in the heck I'm doing. And we're gonna put that back in there. I'm gonna push that over. Yeah, it should have just came out, honestly. I don't know if you can see that. It's in the light. I peened that frame right there. I feel like an idiot. I slipped. Anyway, you can see the spring goes underneath. I don't know if you can see that. The spring goes underneath. Yeah, that's stupid. Right here, the spring goes underneath the pin that holds the locking block in place. It goes underneath that, but it goes around and in front of this. Same way this one did. Coming out of the package, it was, see how that's flopped over to the side a little bit, it wasn't wanting to go in. Which hopefully you saw, I'll find out in the edit. But there we go. You can see that it sticks out just a little bit, and over time it should ride properly. But see what it's doing there. Okay, it looks like we should be okay. Let's try it out. Before we go sticking the alloy spring and rod, we'll put the polymer one back in just to see if this functions. What we don't want is for that to come up and engage We don't want it to come up and engage prematurely, but we do want it to engage. And then, whoop, oh, that's nice. Okay. And then pardon, I'm going to have to unload these because I don't think I have an empty magazine. Pretty sure I don't have an empty magazine. These are not Glock magazines. These are the P-Mags. I bought these during Freedom Week in anticipation of getting this gun. I knew this was something I was going to be doing. So anyway, during Freedom Week, I got these. I got a couple other 15-round Glock 19 magazines. They're all factory. The two that I got that are P-Mags, they're pretty good. Yeah, anyway, there's no liner in these, but they seem to be all right. The other guys are using them, and they're getting along with them really well. So far, so good. I don't like that there's only a 15-round hole. I like on the back of the Glocks, the holes, the Glock magazines, the holes are pretty accurate. So anyway, let's see if, that's what we wanted. That little thing I was noticing was different. Rides on the magazine follower. And oh, that's so smooth. Like I say, this is sticks out a little bit more. When you're carrying a gun with the clip, that digs into your side a little bit, and that does stick out a little bit, but over the years it's kind of flattened up against the frame. I don't know if you can see, you can see that all right. So this one sticks out a little bit. That's all right. You can see that. I'm not real big on that, but if I need to, I'll go and bend it in. I'll give it a little time to see what it does, but I like that because there's no shifting the grip to actuate the old one, the original. I like how flat the original is, especially with the clip draw, because it doesn't dig into your side as much. I like that. I don't like how far forward it is, and I don't like how flat it is because it's so hard to engage. So to me, when you go to slide lock, you change your magazine, you know, you're going to rotate for that, and you're not really rotating that far. You're going to come back, you're going to put that in, and you're just going to brush that down. I actually like that that's sticking out kind of. So there you go, Glock mods. That's what's going. Oh, hey, while you're here, let's throw that out. That's back. Let's just get this out of here. And again, more Aerotech products. Their titanium guide rod. Had great luck with those in the 17s. Had a really good time with it in the Glock 20 10mm that I had. Yeah. I don't like the noise they make. I like how quiet these are compared to these, but when you're firing it, bang, 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 you're never going to notice that. So anyway, there you go. Modded Glock 19. That's my new go-to. Man, I boogered that up. I can't believe I did that. What a goober. So there you go, a modded Glock 19. We have the 3.5 pound disconnect. We have the plug in the back side of the grip. I won't call it what I really call it. Have the titanium guide rod. The titanium guide rod for that. And now the Aerotech extended slide release. Aerotech makes a lot of cool parts for these guns. Competition accessories, they say here. Let's get this where you can see it. They make sights for it. I am not telling you to get those. I'm not even trying to pretend like I have experience with them. I have not done any of the other parts except for what I just said. But the stuff that I have gotten from Aerotech, two things about it. One, it is expensive, and two, it is very good. It is very good. I've enjoyed immensely having that extended slide release from Aerotech. Every Glock I've picked up with the Glock factory extended slide release, I didn't care for. Every Glock I fired that had the stock factory slide release, I did not care for. But I love this on my 26. I will love it on this 19 all the same. It looks like I'm gonna have to bend it in closer to the frame. But again, sorry, no motorcycle videos this week, guys. I'm honestly, I'm kind of running out of steam just doing this little bit. So shout out to my buddy Pete. Should be out of the hospital. I'm going to text message him here in a little bit. He had a little bit of a problem, ended up in the hospital. He told me he was supposed to go home, I think, Thursday. So thank God for that. They were able to fix what ails him fairly easily. Hopefully that doesn't eat too heavily into his budget. Thank God he's all right. Good guys are hard to come by, and dang it, he's one of them. So he kind of helped make this happen. He definitely help the Vertec happen. I'm so sorry that gun didn't work out for me. That gun is awesome though. If you have smaller hands, you might try that, especially if you're not already used to the 92 FS. That Vertec was just, oh, it was a gorgeous gun. What a cool gun. Yeah, he made that happen. He helped make this happen. Mark is the one who actually ended up making this happen, along with Gabe's Dream Angel, Battle Angel, whatever you call that. So, all right, hope you enjoyed it. This one ran a lot longer than I wanted. I will edit it down as much as I can. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you have a good weekend. And I'll catch you on the next one.